Hello again, people. Today we're going to do a little bit of polymer clay. Now, I've had troubles trying to find my roller. I have a crystal roller. Let's see, can we move this up just a little for you? I think so. And the reason for clay work today is I would like to try out that new paper that you're supposed to be able to use to do your decorating situation. And so what I did was I cut 2 pieces of parchment paper and I put the larger one down. And I have cutters here. And let's see if I can get the ones I really want to work with. Here it is. So I'm going to try to go to a 1/4 inch thickness without my guides that I purchased that I cannot find. And since I don't have a roller, I'm going to do the squish method. And first we have to work the clay. So I'm going to set those things aside. We're going to open up this clay here. This is the first time it's being opened. And I want to try to get it away from the edge here so it's easier to remove. There we go. Now just cut into it. There we are. Now this is pretty soft clay. I've never seen polymer clay this soft. Maybe it should be this soft. It'll be easier to work with, but it'll also be stickier to work with. As it's, you can tell, it is sitting here sticking to the bag. And I don't want a whole lot, so I'm just going to squeeze some up out of here. Okay, now I'm going to close this up and put it in a baggie real fast. And yes, it's already sticking to me a little bit. Okay, I'm going to lay it down there for a moment. Now this polymer clay is supposed to be baked at between 120 and 140 degrees Celsius or 275 degrees Fahrenheit. I purchased this some time ago, and I could not find the order on Temu to get the exact clay that I purchased, information on it and such. So I'm going by in general on how polymer clay is supposed to go. I'm going to try to get as much air out of this as possible. And now it's not supposed to be air dry, but I have read reviews that some of the clays are hard and unable to be worked with. So I don't know if it's because they might have thought it was polymer, they might have thought it was air dry, I don't know. But we want to work it a little bit so it's more malleable. I don't like it when it cracks. You gotta get it past that point if possible. Now this is not a name brand. It's off of Temu, of course, like I said. So I'm going to go with what I've got here. And we're just going to make a ball here as well as possible, kind of, sort of. That'll help work cracks out of it. Okay, I'm just going to squish just a little bit here in my hand, see how it goes. Still cracks along the edges. And in the middle. So just keep working it. All right, I'm going to pause you while I work this out. All right, I tried working with it, and if you'll notice, it's not very white compared to the other brand. This is also from off of Temu, but it is a different brand than this one. And this one is acting more like air dry clay. This one is actually acting like a polymer clay. And I'm talking about an air dry clay that is very dry, that you would need to add water to. As you can see, it cracks, it splits. And this is after working with it for a while. It should have already been smooth and ready to go. So I'm not going to test that those sheets with this one here. This is pretty bad. I don't know what I'm going to plan on using it on, because I've never dealt with polymer clay that acts like air dry when it's supposed to be polymer. I'll go ahead and put this in the bag though and see if it dries in the bag, because if it does, then it's air dry, it's not polymer. Now, because these are sheets, I want to use them as a sheet. I mean, I can cut them down to size a little bit, but I'm just going to go ahead and open some more of these little ones here, and we're going to work with that. And we're going to try to get a sheet of polymer clay down. I will probably cut 1 1/2 of those transfer sheets, because I don't want to make a lot of items today. So we're just going to move this one around in here. See, this is how polymer clay really acts. It'll crack until it's worked in, and it's already working in. Basically, polymer clay is like if you took bubble gum and you were to chew it and then take it out and bend it and fold it. That's what it would feel like and kind of look like. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and work these two together. Oop, that was the sound of my bones. This is good for people with arthritis to do this, because it may hurt, but it works your hands and helps them. But there is a point when your arthritis gets bad enough that if you were to do this, you would end up having a possibility of breaking your hands. Okay, this is looking like it's been worked pretty good here. So I'm just going to put it in the middle. And for right now, I'm just going to smush with the back, well, the side of my hand, until I think I'm close to what I need. All right, and then all I'm going to do is lay this one on top. And I probably should do this on the desktop itself, because these are ceramic tiles, and putting pressure may break one or both. So we're just going to stick that on there, put this over the top, and work it back and forth a little bit. Okay, let's see what we've got going here. Its depth needs to go down a little bit more. And yes, I am pressing very hard to try to spread that out. Oops, sorry about that noise. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, a little bit thinner. If I'm shaking the camera, I'm so sorry. Okay. That looks good. We're going to go with good enough. All right. We're going to get this opened up. And then we're going to pick a design. I'm not sure my plans are for purple or the green, but that one right there, I think that one is going to be gorgeous for my plans. Okay, so let's judge the size. Let me go ahead and cut some of that off. This is a very, very, very sharp blade. That's why they ship them in these cases. And it comes with tape on it. Now if I can just see to get it off without cutting myself, right? I do like that the blades are flexible, but at the same time I don't. Okay, we got one side. Wow, it got all over this. All right, I'm getting the tape up. Try to pull off whatever that is on there. Okay, well, that's the best I'm going to get for that edge, I think. Get that little thing that fell off of it. All right, let's measure this out against this. So we want to cut it right about here. Now, is it better to go this way? Looks like it might be. Do that little trick of trying to find where you're at. Okay. Excuse me one moment. She's back at her being in heat again. All right. We're going to put that on the tile. I'm going to move these out of the way. Now, the directions for this, you have to kind of take a snapshot of your order, because it doesn't give directions with it when it gets here. But let me put this blade away. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and roll this extra polymer up just to keep it from getting hard. I mean, not to work, I don't want it too unworkable that it takes me forever to work it back out. And now because it's in this, I'm going to have to put it in a case, because I don't have anything yet for putting these little small pieces of polymer in. For a pig's sake here, folks. There we go. Now, this will go in here. I'll be using the cutters I just took out. Let's move this plate out of the way. Tile. And, okay, I want to make sure nothing is on it that shouldn't be on it. Okay, got that off. And then I see a little small piece of something there. Anyway, I'm going to spritz this down for half a second and kind of smooth this out a little bit. Especially since I see a hair there. Oh. There we go. All right, let's try to go ahead and smooth this out all the way. Now, the polymer does not absorb water. All right. I want to pat it dry. Try not to leave too many prints in it. And because I just did, and because I see more hair, what I'm going to do is press it again. Okay. What did I just do with that other piece of Okay, y'all. Did you see what I happened to do with that other piece of parchment? Yes? No? Yeah, me either. Well, let's see if I can smooth it with a little bit of tapping here. Not looking like it. I can't believe I just misplaced that sheet so easily. So I'm going to go with the big one and do it anyway. Well, hopefully that did it. Not really. Do it again. Almost had it, but not quite. Well, this video is going to be all about working out this clay, isn't it? Okay. I should have done it. All right, now the thing is, what instructions I read for this. This is pretty much a water decal slide off tattoo. So I'm just going to use this whole one. And I'm going to try to place it mostly where I really want it to be. It says to press down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do this, press down, so that it's nice and adhered. And then it says, of course, as with any water slide tattoo or decal, to dampen it. And of course, let the soak happen. So I'm going to kind of actually do this. And we're going to just spread it out a little bit here. I want full adhesion. So that all parts are touching. And it's already starting to slide, so let's go ahead and do that. Try to slide it evenly if you can. Not all of it was ready, but that's all right, because that's the portion that's hanging over. So, all right. That's what you do with this stuff. Now what I'm going to do is it says to, of course, take your clay cutters or whatever and press your designs in. So I want to make sure I am in a good position for doing that. I think I'm going to work him down to here. Make sure where my edge is. And we're just going to press it in, but not fully yet, because now I need to find a place to place this one. Okay, they're pressed all the way down in. And let's gently, well, I don't want to lift it just yet. Let's go ahead and do one more. Yeah, I think we got room to do the dolphins. We'll place that dolphin there. And then I'll place this one here. Or maybe, let's go it this way. Nope, gonna have to do it the other way. Okay. Make sure these are completely down. And I'm just going to hold it and begin lifting this away. I need to break the clay away from. That's the easiest way to do it. Don't pull those directly up. Use the cutters as a way of freeing up to go around them. this way. I'm going to pull that part off. Okay, that's got the bulk, and from the looks of it, you should be able to just pull this tattoo off your clay. Well, not completely. It would take a little while, and of course you would want it definitely wet to do that. So I'll check into that when I'm done here. Probably not even in frame most of the way off. That's the problem with bad eyes. You don't know exactly where you're at. Okay, I'm going to put this to the side over here for the moment. This, and the last one. Okay, so I'm just going to gather all that up, put it together, keep it over there. Now I am going to want to do this on a parchment because I do need these tiles for everything else. I do have more tiles, but I paint on them as well. Well, let's do this. Huh. I tattooed my fingernail. All right. Now, of course, we have to be able to pull the clay out of the cutters, and we have to do it gentle enough, not wanting to disrupt anything. So that's the thing I've really never been able to figure out, how to not destroy things. Okay, that's a little too large. I do hope I didn't push too hard and kind of create myself a problem by basically making pieces. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, after several minutes of trying to pull this one out, I still have these. But as you can see, it turned into a very mangled mess. And I couldn't figure out why it was so stubborn coming out of there. Well, these have to dry a little bit. That's number one. But the primary is, they don't tell you this, but these are 3D printed. And they have little 3D ridges in here. Hear that? And those grab onto your clay like nobody's business. And all these little areas are all the same way. So that is why it tore out of there instead of pulled out of there. So I'm going to attempt something that shouldn't be attempted or have to be attempted. And I just noticed this. This one here, if you can tell, it kind of dips. And I just noticed this. This one here, if you can tell, it kind of dips. And those grab onto your clay like nobody's business. And all these little areas are all the same way. So that is why it tore out of there instead of pulled out of there. So I'm going to attempt something that shouldn't be attempted or have to be attempted. And I just noticed this. This one here, The other one does not. So, there's a problem there. But what I'm going to attempt is, I cannot put these in the oven because, you know, I don't even know what kind of heat these would be able to go up to. It can't be much. So I'm going to set this guy aside. And I'm going to retrieve my hairdryer. I would not use a heat gun, it would be too hot. So I'm going to flip these over. And I'm going to try drying them with the heat gun, or the blow dryer. And see how that works out for me. If it stiffens them enough to be able to go into the oven, I guess that is the best solution it can come up with. So yeah, I'm going to pause you and I'm going to go get my hairdryer. And I will come back when I hope these are dry enough and that the molds are not melted. Okay, back in a sec. Okay, I spent a few hours with the blow dryer, off and on, off and on. This is the first one. Remember how tore up it became trying to get it out? Well, remember the pretty color that this started off with? It started off really pretty. Here's the second one. It was somewhat dry enough to be able to push out. Sorry, the cat's had it on the floor. And do you see how bleached out that color became? It's almost black and white. And that was from the drying with the blow dryer. It is still soft. And yes, it got torn up trying to pull it out of its little doodad. I have not yet attempted to pull these out. I'm trying to figure out if there is a way to cure these, that they will not pull apart like that. But so far, there has been no thoughts for that. If you got any kind of thought on how to cure these, to be able to pop them out of the mold safely, so that the design is not torn up on the way out. You can still see the design in there. I will hold off on pulling these out until I see if any of you have some suggestions. If you do, please put them in the comments, and I will give them a try because I really wanted to have these done. They are definitely 3D mold or cutters, and those ridges inside are extreme, and yes, you heard it before, they grab on. They don't allow for easy release. And if you think about, you know, plastic cookie cutters, there's not a single one that's got ridges like this at all. They're smooth inside. And that is why it's easy for those to release the cookie dough. So I'm going to end this video now because it's gotten long enough. And I will try this again. But don't waste your time on anything that says that it works on polymer clay like this. It is definitely a water slide tattoo. So if you're going to use anything, use a water slide tattoo that you have, if you have one. And what I plan on doing with those is I'm going to try it with air dry clay and see how that goes. And we'll see that in another video. All right, thumbs up if you liked the video, maybe garnered some information from it. Of course, thank you to all my subscribers and those especially who comment. I appreciate all of you that do that. I know that a lot of my videos don't get watched or commented on because there are people that, you know, we all have different tastes in things. And I posted that card making one, and, well, it didn't do too well. All my views and my watch time hours have dropped considerably, well below what was ever normal. So, I'm still going to do card making, but like I said, I will just show the cards, and it'll be a video that I know most people won't watch, but some people will. And the gardening ones don't do too well either. So, you know, to each their own. And yeah, to all you new people here, please, you know, consider subscribing. I am trying to become monetized because of my eyes. I have a cataract in my right eye. There is some weird thing going on with my left eye that is not completely like a cataract growing. It's more coming from the outside to the inside, whereas the right eye went inside and stopped to where I have enough of a peripheral that it drives me nuts because I want to try to see through that so I can focus in on things. But yeah. Anyway, all that crap aside, I appreciate you all. Share if you care, and peace out.